What's up everyone, and welcome back to Fiction Tea Review. This video is brought to you by my self-published book, Rain. It is a psychological thriller about a group of young adults in a psych ward who get this new counselor that's trying to understand their mental illnesses and trying to understand them. But then the counselor shortly learns that these kids might not be crazy and that this place is actually making them crazy, all the while trying to figure out what's going on with him and his psychological demons and his problems. If you would like more information about this book, be sure to hit the link in the description box below. Supporting me and buying these books actually helps me to run this channel, so be sure to check that out, and let's start the video. So today we're going to talk about the movie In Time. Let's get into it. In Time is a 2011 movie. It's PG-13. It is a sci-fi action genre, and you can watch it on Prime Video. In a future where time is money and the wealthy can live forever, Salas, played by Justin Timberlake, is a poor man who rarely has more than a day's worth on his time clock when he saves this guy named Henry Hamilton from these time thieves. He's gifted a century in time from the man. But having that much time only brings attention to him, and Will is falsely accused of murder. He goes on the run with the daughter of a very wealthy man and ultimately figure out a way to get more time for not only himself but other people. It's directed by Niccol. The cast is Justin Timberlake as Will Salas, Amanda Seyfried as Sylvia Weiss, and Cillian Murphy as timekeeper Raymond Leon. This movie is a perfect paradox between time itself and age and people working to live, basically. This movie is really well crafted and has a tremendous message. The rich stay rich, the poor stay poor, and the people who make it out ultimately become the gatekeepers or thieves, ultimately hogging and suppressing. This movie actually made me really upset because it made me think about the real world state of how it is in the world we live in. Figuratively speaking, the film held so much depth as far as the message goes. This guy who grew up in the ghetto and the poor slums, he meets a rich girl who is living a safer life in comparison to him, who's not really been able to like just chill back and relax, but he was able to show her that side of life, and he was able to open her eyes as to this is what's actually going on, not just in your little bubble, not in just your little world, but like people are out here struggling and this is real. She was able to actually see how they were living, and there was a part like towards the end where she says, "We just closed our eyes." And it really highlights how the rich really ignore what's going on, how the rich really ignored what was going on with these people, and how, you know, this can relate to actual life where people are suffering and how people just pretend that it isn't happening. It's a perfect example of how the powerful stay in power. Another example is when Will was running towards his mom. His mom, right before that, she had asked the bus driver, "Please, like, can I get on the bus? I'm running out of time." She ran past, knocked on people's doors, neighbors' doors, and literally no one helped her. No one helped her. This was a very, very imperative moment in the movie to me. Like, I felt really emotional about the whole thing because I was like, that one person could have changed everything and could have ultimately saved her life, and no one did anything. Not the people on the bus, not anyone outside, not the bus driver. The bus driver could have easily been like, okay, just get on. And I understand, okay, these people they need to survive, you know, but there's also that question of like, is survival really all there is if you can't help other people? It reminds me of a scene from one of my childhood movies, Titanic, where Rose says, "Live to die, die to live," something on the lines of that, and how the weight of people on the boat, it mattered, but it also didn't matter. It played into this whole thing of like, how much does it matter to care for other people and help other people? Like, that part blew my mind. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen the movie. When she died and had to go through that whole thing, I was just like, wow, one person could have made a difference in some way. It could have got more time from her son, you know. It's just like, wow, because this is real life. This happens all the time. This guy here, I feel like he always plays a villain in everything he plays. He's a great villain. I guess he has that like villain look. I swear like everything I've watched him play in, he's always the villain. He has the villain look, I guess. The villain like face. Anyways, the acting was on point, superb. I mean, when Will cried after his mom after what happened to his mom, I was pissed, okay? I was pretty upset when I felt his emotions when his mom just like tried to leap and grab him, and I'm like, no, why? Like, very good. But after that, I will say Will and the rich girl, they started doing God's work, okay? Because they just was do the right thing. They were just doing the right thing after that, just helping people, giving out time, running from the law. Man, it was great. I loved every moment of it. There were a lot of visual references to time, especially with advertisement that was like everywhere, and I feel like that was really symbolic, and it just kept reminding them that you run out of time, you run out of time, you run out of time. And it reminds me of like in real life when you're outside and there's just ads everywhere, or like when you're on the internet, it's just ads popping up everywhere, like buy this, buy this, buy that. It's like constantly reiterating, telling you over and over, get this. This is what's happening, you're running out of time, this is what's going on, buy this, buy that. It was one of those things that just like constantly reminds you all the time, like you can't escape it. In this case, this movie, you can't escape time. It's always gonna be there, just on your neck. Lastly to note is the mention of Darwinism and the survival of the fittest. Remember Will says to the gatekeeper guy, you're really fast, like you're quick on your feet. And Will's really quick on his feet. And think about survival of the fittest. The fittest survive. People who are on their feet. Think about when Will jumped out that window with the girl. He was quick. As soon as he knew that people were coming, knocking on that door, banging on that door, he was out. He knew. I think one, because he grew up in the ghetto, so he has quick instincts like that. And two, because he's a survivor. Like survival of the fittest. Only the strong survive, basically. And that really highlighted that, as well as the gatekeeper guy, the time thief. It highlighted with him too, like he could run, even Will was like, dang, like you fast, like he was keeping up. Overall, this was a great film. I definitely would watch it again. I've watched it, I believe, already 2 or 3 times, but I watched it a 4th, 5th, 7th, 20th time because it's that good, and I definitely recommend this film. So if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and comment below, let me know what would you do if you had a time clock on your arm basically telling you when you were going to run out of time. How would you live your life for that remainder of the time? What would you do to gain more time, if so? Comment below and let me know. Also, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Be sure to hit that notification bell to get notified for future videos. So be sure to hit that link in the description box below to get your copy of my book, Rain, and to go to my email list at fictiontease12s@gmail.com so that you can be added to my email list and we can talk about all things movies. You can ask me questions, you can make movie requests, and I can build my little newsletter for people to be on. So yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye. Okay, just want to show you guys, look at my look, bro. Look at this, look at this. Tell me it's not cool. Tell me, look at my new piercing. You got a new piercing? Tell me that my eye makeup is not the bomb.